TST, episode 78. Back here again with my co-host Silk, usually sports anchor, sports coordinator. Switching up a little bit different, we have a health and wellness theme of today, bringing in Jason and Thomas. Jason, last time we met, I found out you went down a rabbit hole with the Hare Krishna, with the EDM scene, and now today I just realized I know your whole family.
That's right.
Good to have you. And again,
what a
and
way
Thomas,
to kick it off.
and Thomas, thank you for coming in.
Absolutely.
We have a treatment at Thrive you wanted to come in and talk to me about. Unfortunately, our co-host Scott couldn't be in here today. He is a former Air Force combat medic, which would have been perfect, but I was explaining a little bit about the little feuds and stuff he's got going on at home. So good luck to you, Scott. We'll see you in the studio in a bit, but thank you guys for coming in. And so Exomind. That's what we're talking about today.
That's right. So Exomind is the newest device that we have at Thrive. It's made by BTL, a medical device company out of Prague in the Czech Republic. It's based on TMS, which is transcranial magnetic stimulation. Now this, on the screen here for those who can see it, TMS has been around for a long time. And it's just now been sort of optimized by BTL and in a way that is very comfortable. It's pain-free. It's a walk-in, walk-out treatment. And we're seeing some incredible results with it.
How many clients have you had through those now?
Dozens. Actually, there
Really?
are only 300 of these devices in the United States. There's only one in West Virginia. At one time, we were the number one Exomind provider in the United States. I think we're number 3 right now.
Okay. So take us through a little bit about just the process, I guess. Like what can people expect to this?
So what you can expect is the first thing we want to do is make sure that there are no contraindications. There are certain things that we can't treat with it. But we do a quick consultation. We get a history on you, find out what your depression and anxiety score is. And then if you meet all the criteria, we're going to treat you. So what happens? You come in, the device is very comfortable. You're lying down and there's a paddle that goes over the left side of your head. So this is treating the left dorsal prefrontal cortex. And I know we'll have a slide here that'll show this area. And in people who are suffering from anxiety and depression, the left dorsal prefrontal cortex is an underactivated area. So we can look at brain scans, people who are depressed or anxious, and we'll see little activity in that area. So what the device does is it uses a dual coil magnet to stimulate those neurons to wake them back up again. Mm-hmm. And so you'll start to see those symptoms sort of start to melt away.
So what is the spectrum of symptoms that this treats? What is this aimed for? So we have like PTSD, depression, anxiety,
OCD, addiction, binge eating, those kinds of things.
And
so
have you seen all types of types at your Thrive so far?
100%,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
We've treated the spectrum. I mean, from people with such severe OCD that they have rituals that are that would sound to us like weird,
right?
But in their life, it could be completely incapacitating for them. In other words, if I don't fold my socks right, World War III will start. And it sounds funny when I say it, but to them, it's very real, and it makes it impossible for them to have any quality of life. Mm-hmm. So, when you're treated with this, for some people, after the first one, you feel, like you've seen the world for the first time. That was my experience with it. For other people, it could take 2 or 3 sessions before, the symptoms start to fully resolve.
How long are these sessions?
The sessions are each 24 and a half minutes.
Okay.
As I said, you're lying comfortably and, there's just this paddle. You're not connected to the machine at all. And you're going to hear a clicking sound. And that clicking is the magnet energizing and sending the energy into the left dorsal prefrontal cortex.
And this has been a technology 40 years in the making.
It has been, but see the TMS, older TMS technology, it can be painful.
Oh, really?
You're required to do a session a day for 6 weeks. Some people find it so uncomfortable that they don't complete their treatment series, and then they have a backslide. So, Exomind itself, BTL, the device company, it's almost a modern miracle how they came up with this treatment that it's walk in, walk out.
Right.
No side effects, no drugs, no downtime. You just start to see those symptoms slowly fade away.
How long have you been in this Thomas? How you on this? Let me.
8 weeks now.
Oh, 8 weeks now. Okay.
Yeah.
And what are the differences you see?
Yeah. So
If you want to take us through a little bit about your story as much as
absolutely.
you want to,
Yeah.
we've picked Scott's brain plenty of times on this show, and it led to a lot of edits. So this time we'll go for another.
Yeah. Yeah. No problem. So 2015, I was in a pretty bad accident,
Okay.
and that kind of erased my memory prior to age 20. So I don't have that now either.
Oh, really?
I'm kind of living with that day to day. And so I got out of the military in 2020. I moved back here. Perfect storm of COVID starting. So I'm moving back here. I don't really know anybody. So I just kind of really got in my own head
Right.
completely.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of a downward spiral, honestly. And I didn't know what to do. You know, I was in a relationship, and then she ended up leaving me because I was just too depressed to do anything. And then I found out about the Exomind, and then, you know, you said the first time is when it got you, but it was really the third time. You know, I started crying because I just, I've been trying to kind of articulate my thoughts on this. You know, it's just kind of was able to accept in myself that something was going on and really allowed me to think about it. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's 3 sessions.
Yes, the first one was just the 24 minutes, and then I did a back to back the next time, and absolutely, it's like night and day. You know.
Wow. That's amazing.
It's true. So for me personally, after my first session, it was like somebody took Windex to my third eye. Like I was looking at the world through dirty glass, and then the whole world showed up for me. Now I'll tell a little bit about the way I
Oh, yeah,
worry
yeah.
and stuff. So I worry in 2 ways. Number one, I can worry about everything that I have to do, and it becomes overwhelming. And then I've got doom piles of laundry and dishes, and I don't know where
Oh,
to
yeah,
start. Okay,
yeah,
so there's that part. The second part is when things are going relatively well for me, I'll start thinking, wonder when this is all going to come crashing down around me, you know? And then I psych myself out, and then I spin out.
Yeah.
So that just stopped happening. And I've been challenged in numerous ways since I started the Exomind treatments, and things that I know I would spiral about,
Right.
just didn't. It was like they were just passing through me. Now I can observe them. I realize that I'm not actually attached to the thoughts themselves, that they're just bubbling up out of consciousness. And then, I don't have to do anything with them. And the
Right.
gravity of them doesn't suck me down into an infinite black hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife would be the first to tell you that is the same way with hers, like especially around the house. If we have a bunch of projects going on, 2 kids running around, the clothes and stuff, I'm usually the one that is like, we have to keep our head down and get one objective done at a time, or nothing gets done, because it's so easy to think of like the 15 tasks that need to get done at that moment, and nothing gets done after that.
You just can't.
Yeah.
You just can't. I've noticed my thoughts becoming more organized. I became a better partner, better parent, better coworker, better friend. I still have lots of empathy and love for everybody in the world. But, another thing I do is I take on other people's stuff, right? I mean, like, if somebody's suffering, that becomes my suffering too.
Yeah.
And that didn't go away. It just didn't bring me down with it. And it allowed me to still be a functional human being while still helping and caring for the people around me.
Have you done this treatment?
No.
You going into? I was going to say you've been talking about the different ones you've been stopping in it.
Yeah. I plan on doing it. I've told a couple people, like, yeah, it sounds like a good thing. And I was telling my coworkers about it and that. And I plan on doing it. Like I said, I plan on doing everything they have there. I've done, 3 things so far, and I've enjoyed it.
What's your favorite so far?
Cryo for sure. Full body cryo.
Full body cryo.
Yeah.
We have a cryo tank that's 151 degrees below zero.
Yeah, we
You're
were
in
talking
there
about that swing from the cryo to the sauna.
Yeah, a 300-degree swing. It's like getting shot out of a cannon, but you'll sleep good. Inflammation will go away, and it's tremendous. I mean, people generally are frustrated with Western medicine and with what the healthcare system in this country is like.
Yeah.
Thrive exists to help bridge that gap between doctors and so we have 3 nurses, 2 nurse practitioners, and so we're doing the real stuff there.
I did a spot therapy. Am I saying that right? Spot therapy.
Local cryo.
Local
Yeah.
cryo. On my ankle, I had an ankle sprain playing football, and honestly, I probably shouldn't be working. Like, I shouldn't be walking. It shouldn't be working. I went to the local cryo. I did it twice last week, and my ankle feels like really good. I haven't taken any
Wow.
medicine. I haven't been Advil, ibuprofen, none of that. I've just done that, and I've iced it at home a little bit, but I'm good to go.
Have you ever done ice baths before?
Yeah.
I've done it a couple of times, and man, that takes your breath away.
It does.
That's a fun ride.
It also takes the inflammation away, and that's
Yeah.
what we're after.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't tolerate an ice bath, especially for the length of time that you need to be in there for it to be effective. The local or the whole body cryo, so it's dry in there. Of course, it's very, very cold, but you can get through it. It becomes a survival thing. But those endorphins, they work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a little mind trick that I learned from David Blaine. When I think it might have been like when he had to hold his breath underwater for like 10 minutes, whatever he did. He said, what I do is I go through the alphabet starting with A, the letter A, then I name one of my friends that starts with that. And I have to go through the same one. So sometimes I get hung up on an F. Last thing I'm thinking about is me being underwater and chained up.
Or frozen in ice as
Right,
he was
yeah,
for
frozen in
however
ice.
many days.
Yeah. So what's your favorite treatment out there at Thrive?
I gotta say Exomind. I mean,
Okay,
because when I'm not at work, I'm not at Thrive, I'm not in cryo or sauna or doing any of the other things, but the Exomind is helping me in all areas of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, if you come in pain too, I mean, it's going to help because pain is in the brain.
Right.
Yeah,
That's where we feel everything. Yeah.
What about you, Thomas? Like, what's things that you weren't doing specifically that you feel like you're able to do now?
Yeah, so it's funny, Jason. You brought up how you kind of bring other people's feelings in whenever you need some empathy, and that's my 9 to 5, right? Like I'm a veteran service officer, so I deal with that a lot, where people come in with their problems, and then I have to put that on my back and then carry that forward. That was very difficult to kind of process that and myself at the same time. And definitely after I did the Exomind, really helped me keep myself on a track, and then also not merge the two, because I would bring my feelings in with their feelings, which would make me feel even worse.
Right,
But
you don't know the difference between
Yeah.
what you're feeling and maybe what you're bringing home from work
Absolutely.
too. I think a lot of
Absolutely.
people know what that's like.
Yeah.
I used to work in some pretty difficult places like nursing homes and things like that. I mean, you're seeing people in the twilight of their life, in the worst health, and maybe not even great conditions, and day after day after day. That's really hard to compartmentalize that. To leave that at work and not bring some of that stuff home. I mean, we're only human.
Right. Yeah. My wife used to work ER at Wheeling Hospital, and she would almost need like 5 minutes to get home, where she just couldn't have a thought. Like you need to just have that little reset to bet like you're at home now.
And it doesn't go away. I mean, that's what trauma is.
Yeah.
It keeps bubbling up. I mean, without even any trigger that we're aware of. The brain's just bringing it back up, bringing it back up, and every time it comes up, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and keeps hitting you. And there's nothing you can do about it. I would say this: I got more out of 6 Exomind treatments than I would have gotten out of 6 years of therapy.
Yeah. Now, how many sessions did you say you started to notice?
So, I started to notice just in terms of my visual acuity in general, just feeling calm after the first one. Now, I should say that the treatment series is 6 sessions done over 3 weeks. So we can see you twice a week for 3 weeks. I personally did 1 single session, and then I did 3 so I finished them up back to back. You did some back to back sessions.
I did.
It doesn't change the quality of the treatment if you do them. I mean, we've heard in some of our treatment groups of people doing several sessions in one day. I mean, for people that are, it's not this, it's a protocol that's, comes with the device itself, but there are ways to, especially for people who are just traveling, who want to, get into Exomind. You're only going to be here for a couple days, and we can work out a thing so that you can be treated.
Yeah.
So that up there, that would be like it's being activated.
Yeah, so this is talking about neuroplasticity. We've learned recently that the brain can form new neural connections. If we're looking at the left side of the head, there is sort of just behind the eyes, that area that's sort of brighter than everything else. That's the left dorsal prefrontal cortex. So that's what we're waking up.
Yeah.
So and the reason we're stuck is because all of these neurons that have been firing together, they're wired together, and so that's what keeps us locked into thought patterns, thought loops, behavior patterns, things like that. And when you wake up those neurons, they start making new connections, start talking to the brain in a different way. So you'll start to notice. So it's really hard to describe. We have to talk in metaphors when we talk about this, because I can only say, I don't know which neurons are responsible for these thoughts that I'm having. I just know that, when I dealt with something that was extremely difficult, that I did it in a logical and organized way. I didn't get that weight on my chest like an elephant sitting on me, or the pit in my stomach, like when you go over the first hill of a roller coaster. There's 3 metaphors in one sentence. Right. Yeah. But, and then, it lasts. We measure success 30 days after your 6th treatment. So after you do your 6, you're going to come in. We're going to do
that'd be 3 weeks.
So 30 days after the 3 weeks.
Okay.
You're going to come in. We're going to do another couple pieces of paper. We're going to ask you, over the last 2 weeks, how often have you suffered from these symptoms? And we're going to give you a depression score and an anxiety score. So I can only talk about myself here, but my depression anxiety score on the first day of Exomind was something like 14 and 11, say. 30 days after my last time, and I had all zeros.
Oh, okay.
Could not be diagnosed with the anxiety or depression.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
How about you? You're pretty good. Yeah.
Well, I would say that whatever the lowest or the most, I was the maximum, maxed out on depression and anxiety. Exomind, I would say it's not necessarily kind of cured me, but it's enabled me to kind of figure out really how to deal with that. I wouldn't say that it's something that is gone for me, because I feel like that's kind of a permanent thing in my life. But, since I've done the Exomind, like I said, I've just kind of figured out how to deal with that myself, which I was unable to
put a path
before.
In front of you that you didn't have before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk about a little bit about how your life's changed in terms of, before Exomind, and you said something happened on the 4th of July, and I think that would be helpful with veterans especially.
Absolutely. I have not done well with fireworks. I mean, really just loud noises in general. It just doesn't do well. Yeah. Ultimately, as I figured out, it was because it would take me back to worse times in my life.
Right.
We'll say that. But yeah, so 4th of July happens, this last one, and it was totally fine. I was very calm, and that was very new. Especially, being around a lot of people would make me uncomfortable, being around loud noises, and just kind of in the unknown. That was not for me.
Yeah.
But much better, absolutely, since the Exomind.
Wow.
And are you cognizant of it at the time? Like, hey, I might have snapped out, or I might have went into my hole before, in that moment. Are you cognizant of it?
I think that's a big part, is I'm kind of catching them and getting ahead of it, which is something I was not able to before. Obviously, I was completely consumed by depression. But now I can kind of see that, I'm feeling a little down, or I'm feeling bad, and I can kind of act on that instead of just letting that kind of build up and get me, get his claws in me.
Gotcha. Yeah. Like you said earlier about the coming back to this area during the time of COVID when everything shut down, just being so isolated. I know some people joke and be like, yeah, we had our wine with the wine time. But for, a lot of people, they were shut in with, with nobody. And
yeah. Well, for those of us that are raised Gen X, and we were alone all of our childhood, so we have to stay home. Oh no, I kind of dealt with that pretty well. But the mental health crisis really exploded after COVID.
And it seems like with the way this activates your brain, it'd be kind of like the opposite of what the mainstream health would be, like benzodiazepines would do to people that would be, taking this for the anxiety and depression, which is basically just suppresses all this.
Well, I can only speak for myself. I don't, a lot of people have experiences with this. So Exomind is indicated for treatment-resistant depression. So these are people who have not responded to 2 or more traditional medicines or therapy. So, those meds don't work for everybody. At least in my experience, what it did was it took away all my feelings. And for better or worse, some of the richness of life comes from experiencing, all that life offers, good and bad, but, for those of us who, suffer from this, the bad is so bad that it can take us out of the game entirely.
Yeah.
And so, what I would say is that, Exomind can give you, it can allow you to become unstuck. From these patterns, from these situations, to allow you to deal with them in a new way, because life is going to show up. It's guaranteed. Things are going to happen, good and bad. Now, but having, an awake brain, specifically the left dorsal prefrontal, alive again.
Yeah.
Talking to the other areas of the brain,
Right.
you're gonna have a better chance of dealing with it in a nicer way. And and I've heard things too, like somebody who said. They had terrible road rage, right? And she came in, she had done Exomind, and she said somebody cut her off on the way to Thrive. And instead of flipping them off, she just said, "Oh, that's okay." I
Right,
mean,
yeah.
and that's a small thing, but it really is a big thing because that's a locked in behavior. It's
Yeah,
been going on
yeah.
for decades, and here's something that this person just noticed, and that's everybody we treated with Exomind. Most people we've treated will say, "I just started to notice I was different, in the way I dealt with stuff."
Right.
That's interesting. Yeah, my secretary at work, it was like after my third or fourth time coming in, she said, Tom, you're a lot more calm, because I guess I would normally just kind of freak out if there was a bunch of people out there or whatever. But she said, it's a lot more calm now. So that is interesting. You said that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Let's bring up another slide.
Yeah.
See where we.
Now, do you see like similar results when you're dealing with like similar symptoms, or is just everybody different? Like, is like people come in for PTSD? Do you see them coming out with like the same results in that time, or like you say like hunger addiction? Do you see kind of the same results in them, or is just everybody just a different case?
So we have a standard form that we use to give each client a depression and an anxiety score. Mm-hmm. So that ranges from, over the last 2 weeks, I have not had any of these thoughts, which would be a 0 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3, 3 being the worst. So like the worst you
Gotcha.
could make on there is a 27, and the same for anxiety. What's your sense of well-being on a score of 1 to 10? So it's subjective in the sense that we rely on what people tell us when they
Yeah.
come in. This is how they're feeling. We believe them.
Mm-hmm.
But after treatment, what we definitely see is a reduction in those symptoms. For
Yeah.
me, it was all the way down to 0 for everything. For some people, they still have some 1s and 2s. But there's you can do ongoing sessions like
Right.
once a quarter or once a month or
Yeah.
whatever after that, just to keep it tuned up,
Mm-hmm.
keep your, not lose your progress.
And that's the machine right there, huh?
That is the machine. So the paddle itself is kind of sitting in front of the machine. You'd be lying down, and that would be over the left side of your head. And in this, so we're looking at some clinical studies here in some self-control in relation to food cravings, which is also in relation to any addictive behavior. 71% of patients reporting an improvement in willpower and self-control after the last treatment. This is 30 days after their last
Right.
Exomind. 67% reporting feeling more motivated after their last treatment, and 62% reported feeling mentally stronger after the last treatment. And up there in the highlights, we're saying that 85% of patients reported therapy is comfortable with no adverse effects. So there are no side effects. It's, there are no drugs. There's no downtime.
And it just says here, it's just like there's 21 patients that were just seeking improvements in their willpower just because they had a high BMI, just to come in, just to get it under control.
Yeah, and so binge eating is so I have another slide somewhere. We'll get to it eventually. I think it was 95% of people showed a reduction in binge eating. Wow. So here's another point. Here we go. So this is great. So 90% of patients with or without diagnosed depression had improved mental wellness. 90% of patients said the treatment was comfortable. 95% reduction in binge eating symptoms. 100% reduced food cravings, and average weight loss was 4 pounds. Now, if you've got a food addiction, 4 pounds is a
lot.
monumental feat.
And when you're doing it by not like just losing your water weight real quick, you're actually doing it.
No,
the
you're
right
making
way.
choices.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's kind of sometimes it's kind of easy to get 8 pounds out if you're doing the wrong things.
For sure. And we're also in a state in the country too. GLP-1s are very popular. We have treated lots of people at Thrive with the GLP-1s, the Ozempic and the Zepbound, things like that.
Right.
There has to be an off ramp. Of course, some people decide to stay on some of these medicines forever.
Right.
But if you're overweight because you've got a food addiction, Exomind can help. It can also help with other addictive behaviors too.
I overheard somebody inconvenient, this was months ago, said that they, in order to get Ozempic to get cleared for it, they basically ate so bad to the point of pre-diabetes so they could get qualified to get their Ozempic.
Welcome to healthcare.
That is what the world we are. That's the world we are living in.
Yeah, I mean, so it's the medicines themselves started because they were a treatment for diabetes, and
right.
so and then we got to the point where the insurance companies basically requiring people to give themselves to get themselves in poorer health in order to get better, you know, and so we don't want to do that, we want to move you forward in a healthy way. So this is some powerful statistics.
Yeah.
And these are all from 30 days after their last session. So,
the old way you said it was once a day for 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
And then they said reported some painful.
It is painful, yeah. So there are other devices out there. I don't think I'm going to mention them, but So you're, and then it takes a lot to dial these devices in. Some of them use an MRI to find the left dorsal prefrontal. It's very easy. So this is the left dorsal prefrontal cortex here. So that's the area that we're trying to activate there. And it restores emotional balance and cognitive function. So stress makes that area go to sleep.
Gotcha.
And so if you're extremely stressed, extremely anxious, extremely depressed, it becomes a feedback loop. It's never going to get better because those neurons are not talking at all. So we wake them up, and then you just start to notice those symptoms sort of melting away. It really is incredible.
Because you're treating that root cause, which leads to just all the little tics that everybody has. That just the little things like the road rage and just like stressing at home and stuff. You're hitting all these little symptoms because you're immediately addressing the
that's
main
right.
issue
Well,
right there.
That is the culprit. I mean, the whole brain is responsible, but it says this is the executive control hub. So it's talking to every other area of the brain and integrates these. So it's helping your executive function. And that's what when we talk about not being able to do anything at home. That's when the executive function is not working. I can't make a list. I don't know where the pen and paper are. It's under some doom pile somewhere, right? So, and so waking that area up really does by engaging that area again. You're thinking clearer. You're not feeling the stress of work and life and all that kind of stuff. It just kind of goes away.
Yeah,
it's crazy too because speaking with this to other people. Like I said, I haven't done it yet, but I fully plan to. But I was telling a coworker about everything that Thrive has to offer, and I was mainly talking to him about he has back problems, and I was talking to him about the all-core machine that you guys have. But I mentioned the Exomind to him, and later on in the day, my foreman, he was talking about how he's so stressed that it's affecting his blood pressure, and he has to take medicine, and he has to go through all these different things, and just the association of knowing that you guys have this.
That's right.
My coworker said, "Oh man, you need to go do the Exomind at Thrive."
It's becoming a theme now. That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, so health and wellness is, but the brain is there. I mean, it's not just about getting in a sauna or a cryo. I mean, we have to, it starts with the brain. And so these are some of the elements of mental wellness. So emotional stability, adaptability to change, your decision-making, maintaining self-control, motivation and focus, stress management, maintaining positive relationships, psychological and social well-being, pursuing goals and passions, and feeling calm, happy, and content. Everybody knows somebody who's not doing all those things well. I'm sitting right here, and I'm one of those people. But since I've been doing this, and also the other things that Thrive, because I'll tell you what, nothing shuts off that annoying roommate in my head like getting in 151 degree below zero cryo tank.
Yeah.
The annoying roommate goes away. Yeah.
He doesn't want to hang out for that.
No.
The real guy has to stand in
That's
there.
right. So Thrive has a lot to offer, but staying on this thread here.
Right.
So some mental health and wellness statistic. It's the number one health concern among U.S. adults, surpassing obesity and cancer. 1 in 5 people in North America has a mental health condition. Roughly 66 million people, and more than half of adults, and this is a big one, with a mental health illness, were not able to receive treatment in 2023. So access is also a problem. But we're doing our best to bridge the gap and provide something. I worry about the things I put into my body at this point. There was a time when I didn't.
Right.
But Exomind is truly, it's a game changer for mental health and wellness.
Now, is there a big boom of these specific machines around the area? I know you guys were pretty early in getting, but do you see it like kind of blowing up around the country? You said no. You said 300.
There's one in West Virginia.
Yeah, that's
There's
right,
only
that's right.
300 of them in the
300.
United States.
Yeah.
So, and we're number one in West Virginia. So we've seen people
wild.
from all over the country come through and get treated with
That's pretty cool.
with the Exomind. From CEOs to everyone else in between.
Putting Wheeling, West Virginia on the map for.
That's true.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and Wheeling should be on the map. I mean, just if we just take it in terms of what the area sort of, and we can just look outside our doors and see what the struggles that people
right,
in the
yeah.
Ohio Valley are dealing with. I mean, we have an outbreak of terrible mental illness, and without lack of access to adequate medical care, limited options in terms of what they can do for you. I mean, they can throw some pills at you, but
Yeah.
what is that, ultimately going to do? And I don't want to say that, you shouldn't seek out, professional help from psychiatrists and therapy. I think, it's great for everybody if that's for you, but there are other options too.
Well, now they're pushing therapy from an app now. That's like the biggest thing. Like you'll see ads for it's like therapy will knock off $200 off your first month. I'm thinking, so you're paying this much money, talk to somebody you're never ever going to meet.
There has to be trust between a therapist and a client.
Yeah.
I mean, or anybody that you're going to talk to about the deepest, darkest, most devastating things in your life. And I just don't. And I worry too about, people seeking out answers from Chat GPT and letting AI therapize them and diagnose them. I mean, it's kind of scary.
It was pretty wild. A month ago, I did my first Zoom appointment with a doctor. Because I was covered in poison ivy, I needed steroids. So I just opened the phone. She's like, "Oh yeah, I know what you need." Immediately, prescribed that to me. It was so nuts to me to think that.
Look, man, it's a wild, wild west out there. I think it's ultimately it's going in the right direction. I mean, as long as more people have access, that's a good thing. There are a lot of gaps. There's a huge donut hole for people when it comes to access to even good health insurance. If you're very poor, you're okay. If you're very rich, you're probably okay. But the working people in the middle, have huge deductibles and things like that too. And that's hard, especially for families.
Yeah.
Circling back to real quick what you said about when you walk out your door, whether it's Wheeling, West Virginia, or Bridgeport, Marsh Ferry, or whatever, we live in a place that is so beautiful, and a lot of people don't get to see it.
It's true.
We talked about in the pre-show about our travels, how we traveled the world and all that thing. This is actually like one of the prettiest places I've ever seen.
It's true.
Like when you drive through West Virginia and you just see houses sitting in the middle of a mountain, like that's kind of unreal. You know what I mean? And like I just feel like this place is so beautiful, and hopefully a lot of people come in and they take a second and get a little Exomind in them, and they're able to actually walk out of their house and see how gorgeous this place actually is.
Gratitude changes your brain. I mean, this is also science, and a big part of therapy too. If you've been in a thought loop where you think everything is bad, and sometimes you have to get out back to basics. Sometimes you have to remember, hey, somebody didn't have anywhere to sleep last night. Somebody didn't have anything to eat yesterday. And try and put it into perspective. But yeah, you're right. I mean, all of us have been all over the world, and I've seen everything from the Hill of Crosses to huge Gothic architecture in Eastern Europe, and there's nothing like the hills of the Ohio Valley.
And you can find like a palace of the Hare Krishna in the hills.
Did find that? Yeah, wasn't looking for it, but I found it. Yeah, that was a crazy time. But and then Thomas, you especially talking about not seeing outside of your window. How's that changed for you?
Absolutely. So, one of the biggest things is that I would just do nothing, right? Like I would go to work, which was amazing. Sometimes I would be late, and by sometimes I mean I was late like a lot. But I would just do nothing. I would get home, I wouldn't eat, and I wouldn't sleep. And I started the Exomind, and I kind of was able to work. Because I do therapy as well, so working in tandem there, I was able to figure out really what was going on. Root cause analysis is what I did.
Yeah.
And Exomind really, I think, was a springboard rather for me for that.
Yeah.
Like the issue with not sleeping. I wouldn't sleep because I was afraid of what would happen when I was waking up. Because going to sleep wasn't that big of an issue, but it was waking up. I would either wake up with incoming fire, right? I guess some context, 3 hours in Afghanistan, immediately incoming, which
Right.
is mortars, small arms, whatever's happening. Or I would wake up just completely nothing, which is from my brain getting smashed into a building.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just afraid of that waking up. So Exomind happened, and then that was almost immediately better. My sleep was. I was able to go to sleep and wake up, get a full 8 hours. I was feeling great.
And then, going
yeah.
to sleep with the comfort knowing that it's not going to be bad when I
Absolutely,
wake up.
absolutely. And I think that was a difficult thing, and is acknowledging that was a problem,
Yeah.
right? And I was unable to do that because I didn't know what the problem was.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to find the problem and then kind of work towards it, making it better, absolutely. Exomind helped me out there for sure.
You said before the episode started, you're in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
This was the first opportunity we had in the show for 2 Air Forcemen to be outnumbering the Army guy. normally I have 2 Army versus 1 Air Force, and a couple little jokes fly, but yeah, Scott really missed out on this opportunity.
We'll have to get him in here.
Yeah, we'll have to really do this again. Yeah,
do a part 2.
maybe even film him going into it, and then just getting him his fresh results or something.
We
Because
could do that.
Yeah,
for sure.
We'll be able to both have some testimonies
Yeah.
in the next episode.
yeah, for sure.
Great.
Definitely come in. Well, guys, this was perfect. Really great episode. I can't wait to go back and listen to this one.
Sure.
And definitely got to check out Thrive coming up.
It's thrivewheeling.com.
Let's pull that up right now.
Yeah, let's take a look real quick. We can go through some of the stuff that we offer there, so that for people who are listening who've never been in, you're not going to believe what kind of a place you have right here in the heart of downtown Wheeling. And if you pull up to the top right there, the 3 bars. So it starts with aesthetics, so facial, laser facials, so we could get rid of sun damage, pigments, things like that. We have skin tightening. We do non-invasive facelifts, Botox and filler. And then if you click body aesthetics there, this is some fun stuff. If you can scroll back up to the top. So body sculpting, there's a device called M-Sculpt Neo. It gives you 20,000 crunches in 30 minutes, okay? We can cut a 6-pack out for you. We can do a butt lift with this thing. It's great. We do M-Tone, destroying cellulite, laser hair removal, and skin tightening. So if you've lost a lot of weight recently, we can tighten that skin up. Here's the health and wellness stuff. So massage, cryotherapy, infrared sauna. The Halo bed is a salt bed. It's great for allergies, bronchitis, postnasal drip, things like that. Red light. For pain and Silk, I think you should probably get in the red light at some point. You've been having pain because those frequencies are great for reducing inflammation. We do oxygen, lymphatic drainage, and then the all-core machine there.
Now, the all-core, I have scoliosis. So,
we can help you.
I was going to say...
Click on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me look at this. I was going to say, scoliosis gives you lifetime of pain, but 6-pack abs at
Yeah,
34.
yeah.
You can't be...
What we do, if you scroll down, I think there might be a picture of the machine there somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was up there a little bit there.
I was just... Okay.
Yeah, so there's the all-core machine. So you're strapped in there, and you see that back panel there. Your only job is to keep your back off that panel, and then the chair will lean back. So that's where
You're fighting, okay.
Yeah, so you're fighting gravity, but it rotates 5 times each direction very slowly. You keep your straight posture, and it gets all 54 muscle groups to fire appropriately. So yeah, we can help. If you have neck pain, back pain, that's a great treatment.
Where'd I go? Let me go back. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Okay, so starting at the top, there's the Exomind, so medical weight loss for now. We do hormone replacement if you're of a certain age and you're suffering from the effects of low testosterone and other hormones for women. We can optimize those.
Do you see that a lot coming in?
And, well, what I see a lot are people that don't realize that that's the thing that's happening to them.
Yeah.
Do you guys do testing for that, Jason?
Yeah, so we do. We have we send your blood work out to a lab, but we draw the labs there at Thrive. A nurse practitioner will draw them. Go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
That's
cut
all right. For the hormones, we have a symptom checker. So you'll check off the symptoms that you're suffering with. We'll do your labs. I can just give my own example. So when my testosterone was checked, it was 237. It's now 900. So
Okay.
yeah, feeling a lot better now.
There you go.
Vitamin shots, everything from B12, vitamin D, glutathione, NAD, two master antioxidants. We have IV therapy. This Mcella, I'm going to talk about this briefly. I want to. Can you click the Mcella chair, because this is the newest thing that I've done. So this chair, it's a pelvic floor. There's the chair. So what this thing does. So I wish somebody would have told me when you hit 40, all you do is pee all the time. And it was crazy, but getting up 3 times a night to do this,
Right.
and not sleeping well, it gives you 11,200 Kegel contractions in 30 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. And I don't smoke, but I kind of wanted a cigarette after it. But it treats urinary incontinence.
Yeah.
And we've seen people go from a brief to a pad to nothing. And then protocol 2 is the intimate wellness protocol, where it can make, for men and women, some real spiciness come back to the bedroom. Yeah. That's the Mcella chair. And that's okay.
I had a buddy out in Cali. I work with him, and he was telling me how they have a lot of spots like this available, like a Men's Health or whatever. You can go, you can get your testosterone checked and all that, and they'll send you out with whatever you need and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I was actually like thinking about, like, man, maybe I should, get my test checked.
You should, and everybody who's listening to this should also, for men, get your prostate levels checked.
Yeah.
You get to it can save your life, and that's part of the panel that we draw on you. We have P shots and O shots. These are for intimate wellness. The P shot is platelet-rich plasma that's injected into the organ itself. And what happens? Well, you get bigger, stronger, better, all the things. Same for women, only it's done internally. MFEM 360 is intimate wellness for women, and then Shockwave. It's done for ED, but it's also done for pain all over the body. It's applied by a nurse practitioner. We can reduce inflammation. We can break up adhesed tissues and eliminate pain for you. So we have a bunch of protocols for pain. If anybody listening is having pain, cryo, red light, sauna, Shockwave would be good.
Is this P-shot? We talking girth?
We're talking both, brother. We're talking both.
And massage you have there as well.
We do have massage, yeah.
Yeah, just for more pain things, I mean.
For sure, yeah. I mean, you get a massage, you go in the sauna before your massage, you're going to be real loose. And medical grade skincare. So, this is, stop in to Thrive sometime, or give a call. We'd love to give you a tour, show you around the place, show you what we do there.
So you guys were really fixing up the miners when they came in for this.
We
past
did,
season.
yeah. We took care of the miners. We took care of the nailers, so athletic recovery, particularly injuries and things like that. We can definitely help. So there's a lot.
What do you see
there.
the most of going through the door, the treatment wise or product wise?
I mean, it's a mix. I mean, we have quite a lot of weight loss. We have a lot of facial aesthetics. Body contouring is big, man. If I was confident enough, I'd let you put my befores and afters up there. But we'll talk about that off air. But body sculpting is brilliant. I mean, the thing about Thrive is this. I mean, so we can take care of your mental health, we can take care of your physical health, but we can also reverse time essentially. And you don't have to accept the gnarled hand of time ripping you apart limb from limb. We can fix all that, and we can help you step into a newer, healthier, more beautiful, wonderful you.
That's cool. This is just something for everybody.
Something for everybody.
And it seems like you have the treatments that hit the root cause where you're taking care of most of it.
Yeah.
Especially with this Exomind.
That's that's the newest thing we're doing. I mean, we obviously health and wellness stuff. Taking care of yourself can help your mental health. I mean, working out or doing if you need a jump start, or if it's just gotten so bad you're so stuck you don't know what to do. Exomind can be a solution for you. The only reason we might not be able to treat you if you have metal in your head. So cochlear implants, plates, things like that in the treatment area we can't, and with certain conditions, there's a couple conditions we can't treat, such as psychosis or schizophrenia. But It's still worth a call if you know somebody's struggling. Give us
yeah.
a call. The number's 304-381-6844.
Nice. Tell them Silk sent you when you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put some love on your account.
Everyone that goes through so
Well, thank you guys for coming in. We'll do this real soon
pleasure.
again.
Yeah,
We'll
absolutely. Thanks so
have to get
much.
Scott in and throw him into some treatment, whether he likes it or not.